But really, the long-term strategy, it doesn't have to be Vegas. It can be a consistent and steady revenue generator for your business. And the proof is in all of the people that are successful and have been doing this for a long time. Welcome to the Action Taker podcast. Hi, I'm Lauren Cosgrave, and I'm a business coach. In this podcast, you'll find an action-packed look at the strategies, tactics, and mindset that lead to successful online coaching, consulting, and service businesses, even if you're a mighty team of one. Hello, Action Takers. It's Lauren. Today, we're going to be talking about the number one mindset shift that coaches and consultants need to make before they start doing Facebook ads. So I have heard so many coaches and consultants really struggle with Facebook ads, or they just don't see any type of results from having invested in Facebook ads. And it becomes this very emotional exchange around spending money on ads, right? And I think what a big part of that is that we as coaches and consultants, we don't see what that tangible result is. You know, it's even tough for us to sometimes think about what is the result of our coaching programs, let alone dumping money into ads. You already feel broke and then someone's telling you need to spend money on ads. It can be a really challenging leap to make. And we often have this sense that Facebook ads are going to be the golden ticket. They're going to be the thing that is all or nothing. It almost feels like a 50-50 shot. I'm going to either lose a ton of money, I'm going to Vegas, I'm going to either lose it all or I may win big, and I don't know what's in between. Well, Facebook ads don't have to be that way. They don't. I do like to use the Vegas analogy when you're first starting and just getting warmed up with Facebook ads. But really, the long-term strategy, it doesn't have to be Vegas. It can be a consistent and steady revenue generator for your business. And the proof is in all of the people that are successful and have been doing this for a long time. I'm a part of a mastermind where I was chatting with an entrepreneur today. She's making 8 figures in her business. She's been in business for 13 years. She's phenomenal. To me, she's the top, right? She's on top of her game. That's where I want to be. And she's still testing things out in her ads. And she's luckily gotten to the point where she's now testing colors in her ads. Okay, guys? She's gotten to the point where she now knows that red is the highest converting color in her ad. All right. Now, I want you to take that tidbit of information and set it aside. If you're an early stage coach or consultant, which are most of the people here in the Action Taker method, and know that that is where we're striving to get to. Maybe not 13 years, maybe not 20 years, but maybe just a couple years down the road from now, we can start thinking about that. And the most important thing here, I want to talk about 3 mindset shifts when it comes to Facebook ads. And number 1 is that long game piece. Don't start Facebook ads unless you're committed to constantly running them. Even if it's just a brand recognition ad where you're warming people up by sending them to a video or some piece of content where you're talking about the content of the type of work that you do, either the coaching or the consulting services that you provide. It is not an overnight fix. So the number one thing that successful entrepreneurs have a different mindset about Facebook ads to start with here is they're ready to play the long game. They're not just dumping a little bit of money, or maybe what feels like a lot to some of us that are just early stage. It's not an on-off. It's not a turn the hose on, turn the hose off, turn the hose on, turn the hose off. They start with a little drip, and then they build up to a little bit more of a steady stream flow. And then they're hopefully getting to the point where it's continuing to flow. And then from there, it's this kind of wavy, bumpy line up and to the right. It's never just consistent. It needs care and feeding. It needs that consistent love and attention over time, and to grow and stay fresh with new audiences and with your current and warm audiences. But it is not an overnight switch, even if you're doing a launch style type of marketing program, okay? So you got to commit to the long game is the first and foremost thing, the mindset shift that you need to make if you're an early stage entrepreneur with with your Facebook ads. I have a client that I'm working with right now. She's been running ads for a little over a month, and she wants it to be like, $1 million revenue already. And bless her heart, I share that passion. I shared that same feeling the first time I turned on Facebook ads. But it takes time. It takes so much more time than just a couple of weeks. We're talking in the realm of months, if not years, before you really start to build that as a consistent revenue stream, and why we work so hard on building out your organic marketing in the action taker method. All right, number 2, return on investment. Who has heard, give me $1 or put in $1 and hopefully you get 2 out in your advertising or marketing strategy? We all would love to pay $1 to receive $2, right? That's 2 times our investment, or 2 times return on investment, ROI, right? So coaches and consultants, we forget that that is really our goal when it comes to ads. We want to get to 2 to 3 times return on investment, which is great. That's like an industry accepted ROI that would be like really good. That should be like a good target when you're first starting. So if you do the math, if you think about this was a light bulb that went off for me recently. If you have a high ticket item, if you're selling something that's, let's say, $1,500, or let's make it a round number. Let's say you're selling a $2,000 coaching package. You're going to need to put in $2,000 to sell 2 packages to have that 2 times ROI. You're going to need to sell at least the price of your package to get to the point of selling 2 of them. Okay? And if you want to get to 3 times ROI, then that's even better, right? Like, so if you put in 2,000, then hopefully you would make 6,000 off the end of that. And so I often see coaches and consultants starting out with just like a couple $100 putting out there. And this is what I've been doing. This is the lesson that I think I have learned, is that I've just been dribbling out a little bit of money into ads. And I haven't even gotten to the point where I've invested a couple of like values of my course yet to hope to grow my course and sell an increased number of courses off of Facebook ads. And so that math is what eventually made everything click for me. So the mindset shift that you need to take is you need to go back to the drawing board of whatever it is your target of sales, and really think about and look at that number. Take the number that you are hoping to make, the number of courses that you want to sell, divide that by 2. That's how much you need to invest in ads to get to a 2 times ROI, right? And it will really shift your perspective on the amount of money that you actually need to invest in Facebook ads. Now, I'm not saying you need to go dump all that into Facebook ads in one day. You shouldn't. Actually, that would break Facebook ads. But know that however long it's going to take you to spend that amount of money should be a target for when you're eventually reaching that 2 times ROI. Okay? I hope this is straight for you. I hope I haven't confused you too much with the math here. But the second most important mindset shift that successful coaches and consultants make when they're doing their Facebook ads is knowing what their ROI is and knowing the right amount of money to invest in ads. And then the last one is getting help with your ads. Successful coaches and consultants running awesome Facebook ads, they have help. They have a Facebook ads manager, because it is something that needs that consistent, it's not a set it and forget it, right? Like a Facebook ads manager can be that person that is tracking your ROI, that is tracking your engagements, that is tracking your performance, and knowing when to turn things off, when to tweak them, and how to make that investment continue a little bit more smoothly up and to the right. Like a really good Facebook ads manager is not going to solve all of the world's problems with advertising, but they're going to smooth out those ups and downs. It's not going to be as dramatic for your business, and can be a tremendously valuable investment, particularly because if we go back to the number 1 thing that I mentioned, was we're playing the long game with Facebook ads, right? Okay, action takers. Think about these things, journal on them, really like crunch the numbers, do some math for yourself. Play the long game with Facebook ads. You can do this. Do the numbers on your ROI and think about investing in a Facebook ads manager to help smooth out your return over time. If you're curious or if you're wondering, is now the right time for Facebook ads in my business? I want to invite you to download the Action Taker Blueprint that tells you exactly when is the right time to invest in ads in your business after you have built your solid foundations and operations. You then will be ready to start dabbling in Facebook ads. It comes in phase 4 of the Action Taker method. So I invite you to go download that for free today at laurencosgrave.com/blueprint. It's also my link in bio on Instagram over at Lauren Cosgrave Co. on Instagram. Go check it out. Get your copy of the blueprint today. Find what your stage is so that you can build consistent sales in your business. Coach and consultant. Never forget that normal is boring, success is inevitable, and action taking is replacing the grind. And we'll see you next episode.